everyone, welcome to Confidently Be You. My name is Jennifer Shlomovich, and today I'm going to share with you the top behaviors of boundary violators and 3 tips for dealing with them. Boundaries are a crucial form of self-care because they allow you to advocate for yourself and your needs. There are 2 types of boundaries. Boundaries we set with others, which involves communicating our feelings and needs with others and letting them know what is acceptable and not acceptable for us. Basically, you're teaching others how to treat you. The other type of boundary is boundaries that we set with ourselves. These type of boundaries involve setting limits with ourselves that help benefit us in some way. Some examples include budgeting, eating habits, and how we spend our time. For example, a boundary you could have with yourself is not bringing in certain snacks in the house because you know you will eat them. I know I have this issue with Oreos. Not setting boundaries in either category can lead to us feeling stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, and out of balance. When we do set boundaries, it helps keep chaos from overtaking our lives and allows us to restore balance. Boundary violators are individuals who do not respect the boundaries of others. They have little power over those who have self-confidence and strong boundary setting skills. They have more power over those who struggle with self-doubt and boundary setting. They see what they can get away with through their interactions with others, and they know what buttons to push to wear someone down. Here's a list of behaviors that are common for boundary violators. So boundary violators typically expect to get their own way. They have trouble listening. They ignore or don't comprehend what others want. They don't compromise easily. They get defensive when challenged, try to convince you to do it their way. They will talk over you when you have something to say or when you say you need to go. They'll make decisions for you. And they'll say things like, "What's the big deal? You are too sensitive, and you shouldn't feel that way." Basically, very little consideration for the other person. It's all about them and what they want. These interactions can be very frustrating and triggering. Your feelings are valid and are trying to tell you something. Now for some tips on how to deal with boundary violators. First, you want to get clear on your feelings. This is an important step with any type of confident communication. Here's a little journal exercise I put together that can help you out with this. So first, you want to identify who are the boundary violators in your life. What are their behaviors that bother you? How often does this happen? How does this make you feel? What needs to change? And what type of boundaries do you need to put in place? After you have identified your feelings, it is important to then set boundaries. This can especially be challenging with employers and family members. I'm going to include some links in the notes below that can provide further tips. Here are some basic ones. Remember, you are not responsible for the behavior of others. You can only be responsible for yourself. Stay grounded in who you are and what is important to you. Communicate your boundaries in a clear, calm manner. Avoid this person as much as possible if necessary, and using I statements instead of you statements. So here's an example of setting boundaries with someone who interrupts you a lot using I statements. So it could go something like, "I feel frustrated when I can't finish what I'm saying because I lose my train of thought. What I need is to be able to finish what I am saying. This doesn't have to be exact. It is just to show you how something like this may sound. Here are some more examples on boundary setting. So for someone who's insisting you fix their problems for them, you could say something like, "No, but I can show you how to take care of it for yourself." Or you can share a resource that can help them with it further. For more tips on handling situations like this, check out my helping versus enabling video. I'll also include that in the notes below. For someone who's being pushy to go do something you don't want to do, you could say something like, "No, this is not a good time for me," or "No, I don't want to." If you are being interrupted, you can say something like, "One moment, please," or "Please let me finish what I am saying." If you need to go and the person is still trying to keep you from leaving, you could say something like, "I really need to go now. We can continue this another time." If someone is pressuring you into an answer, you could say something like, "I need to get back to you on that." And if someone is trying to convince you on doing things their way, you could say something like, "Thanks for the suggestion. I feel this is the best way for me to handle it." And if someone is invalidating your feelings, emphasize that this is how I feel. Tip number 3 is reinforce. Boundaries need to be reinforced so that they will stick. Be kind to yourself and remember boundary setting is a skill that takes practice. The more you do it, the easier it gets over time. It's like building muscles or training for a marathon. Also, when you change the way you respond to somebody, in the beginning it may be a little bit challenging because they're used to you behaving a certain way. So when you change your behavior, you might receive some pushback in the beginning. But again, just keep reinforcing your boundaries, and in time, they will understand who you are and what you expect moving on. If you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments below. And if you would like more support, you can sample a coaching session with me by visiting my website at www.innerclaritywithjms.com and schedule a clarity call. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.